Hi, this is Rachelle with Scrapcraftastic, and I am back to work on my hardcover handmade journal. So this is the original journal that I made, and it's filled with different art papers. This one that I'm working on now is a little different. These are the front and back covers, and I had a little issue with the ink in the previous video, which I will link in the iCard up above and in the description box below, but I think I've worked around that pretty well. So we left off with me working on the spine, which is this, and I was thinking that maybe I should treat the spine as well, but I don't think I will at this point. So we've already put down the chipboard. Now I just need to align the front and back covers. So I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to measure about 1/4 inch on either side of the spine, at the top and the bottom of the spine. And we're going to leave that much gap in between because you need room for your covers to fold. So basically you need room for the width of your chipboard against the width of your spine chipboard, and if you put them jammed up like this, you'll have a problem folding. So you need to leave a gap in between, and I like to leave as much gap as possible. Originally I tried to just leave a little bit of gap, and that does not work out well. What you can also do is take, a lot of people do this, take the width of the chipboard that you're using, double it, and that would be the width that you need. And in this case, double would be about 1/4 inch. So I am good with 1/4 inch. So see, I can barely see that mark. Okay, so then I'm just going to connect my 2 tick marks. And again, this is on the inside, so you don't have to worry about it being seen. This is just for you to be able to line up your covers and make sure they're straight. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and take this off. Of course you won't be able to see, let's start with the top. You won't be able to see the lines until I take the backing of the tape off. So I'm going to do the top first. And then the bottom. Burnish that down. You especially need to burnish it on the Tyvek because it tends to not stick well, but that's okay. We're going to also add some liquid adhesive. So then I'm going to come in and line it up. Well, I'm going to line it up with the edge of the outside edge. And we got a little piece hanging off right there. Let's get rid of that. So outside edge. And burnish, burnish, burnish. Then I'm going to take the thin, I think this is 1/4 inch. Yep, 1/4 inch, and fill in the gap right there and run it down next to the line. And this side is a little wider for whatever reason. I'm a little bit off with my measuring, but it's okay. Okay, burnish, burnish, burnish. burnish, burnish. Okay. So let's go ahead and start on this side. Now, this would be the back. Whatever I put over here will be the front. Or you could do it the other way around, just depending on the designs and how you have your cover set up. And like I did here, it's a good idea to write on the cover. And I'm just making sure my glue isn't hanging over the side. It looked like it was in a few places. So I'm just kind of pushing it back over. Then I'm going to take my fabric tack and just put a little bit on here. This will give me some wiggle room if I need to adjust, because if I don't do that, as soon as I place my cover on the tape, it would adhere. So we don't want that. And even though I have the arrow going that way for the back, I want to do it the other way. So let me just make a note for myself. I've changed this so many times, but I do want this to be on the edge. Okay, so let me go ahead and place this down. I'm going to line it up with the tape and my pencil mark. And press down. And just leave it. This is a really thick cover. So I hope that works out. And then I need one of those little desktop trash can thingies. Okay, so let's add a little glue to this. Give myself some wiggle room. And let's make sure we got this right. So that's the back up. This is the front. And I want to go this way because I want this on the outside. So I don't know what I was thinking when I did this. This is what I want. Okay. So line it up on the line and press it down. Okay. Get my paper and burnish, burnish, burnish. And I need to let this sit. I had let the back side sit for a minute before I came back and did the front. But it will fold like that. But before we do that, let's go ahead and do our top and bottom. And you kind of do this the same way, which is, let me do a little scoring because that didn't, should have did that first. Score. So we can get, since I'm using such a heavyweight paper. Okay, that's better. And I don't need the wet glue, I don't think. I hope not. And then I want to kind of try to push that down into the seam. I'm not going to be able to push it down too much without it lifting. Okay, then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And I don't put any wet glue on this one, especially since this cover is so thick, because I don't want this sliding around. Once it's stuck, I want it to stay stuck. So, and I already did my scoring, so I'm just going to fold it up like this and bring it on over. And Burnish, burnish, burnish. Make sure that's good and tight. Okay, so that's been sitting, I think, long enough to kind of play around with folding it a little bit. Okay, so that is what it looks like. And this is pulling up, so let me lay it back down. Let's burnish some more. Make sure our edges stick. So I'm not going to mess with this too much. I kind of want to leave that alone. Let it stay flat. Then I'd already pulled out this paper that I think I want to do on the inside. And that paper is from this Pretty Petals paper pad that I have from the paper studio at Hobby Lobby. I also like this one, but I think the pink just looked better. Too many colors here. I would have liked a red rose, and I probably have something like that somewhere in my paper stash, but I didn't feel like digging through. So I had this book nearby and I need to use it anyway. So, but this is just a quick, well, that one's not bad, but this is just a quick flip through of what's available in there. Okay, so in the other book, I actually just used 2 pieces of paper and let them meet in the middle of the spine. I'm going to do it different this time. So I'm going to do this way. I'm just going to take a regular piece of black cardstock and trim it. I'm going to go almost to the edge, but not all the way. And I'm going to mark it where I want to cut on the top and the bottom. And then we're going to use this as the inside covers for our panel. So in between our signatures will just be the plain black cardstock. So I'm just going to cut where I marked it at. I think we can get rid of some of this. And then that's going to be placed right there like so. That way we can go ahead and train this to fold the way we want it to. Okay, so I'm going to tape this way on the edge. And I think I'm just going to go all the way across with it. Now this way definitely does take a lot more adhesive, but you want to use enough so that your book doesn't start falling apart after a few uses. So and you want to have enough adhesive in the tension spots, which the spine is very important. And that wasn't so crooked, I'd have had enough room, but we're going to make it work with the silk wing. Burnish it down. Okay, so we're going to start in the center, and we have these flaps on the side where our outside spine overlays to line it up against. So Oh. So that gives us a little room to work with. Let's take this one off first. Okay. Wow. Okay. So again, we need the wiggle room. So we're gonna put a little glue, and I could probably use a white glue, but like I said, I'm trying to use this up because the longer it sits around, the more difficult it will be to use. So let's line this up, top and bottom. Straight as possible. And got a little seepage there, but we want to get it into the creases as good as we can. And we know the flaps are not laying down because we haven't taken the backing off the tape yet. We just want to get this part down as good as we can. Okay. Let's do this. And we're not going to put any glue on that one. We're just going to lay it down. Come on. Okay. Oop, I shouldn't have did that. Should have laid it down flat. So I have a little glue that's coming out, and this is they sell these in Dollar Tree. It's a glue remover. I didn't get this one from Dollar Tree, but I do have one from Dollar Tree. So I'm just going to take and rub it around the edge to get off that extra glue. And that's another reason why I like to use the Fabri-Tac. It's not like the regular white liquid glues, so it will come up easily with a glue remover like this. It reminds me more of like rubber cement and how that works. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that and let it sit, and then go ahead and trim up my inside pieces. So I want this to go here. So I am going to mark it right here, and then this is the width that I want. I should not have folded that up like that when I was placing it down. Hopefully it will be okay. Okay. I need to make more books so I can be more proficient at it. I love doing it, but I'm always making mistakes. Okay. So I'm cutting that all the way across. And I'm going to cut this at 4 3/8. Interesting. Ooh. So let's do another piece at 4 3/8. I want this way. Nope, I want it this way. Alrighty, so I think I'm done using tape for a little bit. We're just gonna glue this and just making sure I have enough space away from the spine. And I think we do. So here we go with the fabric tack again. And you could take something and smooth this out. I just don't like to put my fingers in the glue, quite frankly. Just nowhere close by for me to wipe them off. There also, you could use one of those makeup spatulas to smooth it out, but I find that once you place this type of glue down, that it spreads out pretty good. So let's line this up. I think I cut it crooked, but I'm not sure. No, I didn't. Okay. Paper. You could use a credit card or gift card to do this as well. I don't know, this ruler just comes in so handy to me. So that we get any seepage. And again, if you're using 3-in-1 or Fabri-Tac, you can use the glue remover to clean it up. And it does not scar. That's another good thing about it. So when you use a regular white glue, even some of the better ones, they say that they don't leave a mark. They kind of do. The Fabri-Tac doesn't. It like rolls up like a piece of rubber or something like that. So I think I like the spine being black like that. I think that's going to be kind of nice. Okay, let's put this piece down. And I just put them in the wrong place. Okay, so this is actually the back. I'm glad that this paper will go either way. See, I wasn't paying attention. Oh boy. Even though I wrote it on the paper, I wasn't paying attention. So place that down, let's burnish it out, spread out that glue. And make sure my spine is intact. I don't want it gaping like that. Just burnish it down. That's better. Now this down as good as it can be. Okay, so now I want to let this dry and cure, and then I will come back and we will add our papers. I'm going to choose my papers and trim them down, and I will show you a part of that process when we come back.